Well, it's time for another video. This time I'm going to try and cook something. Some people may know that one of my favorite foods is pies. I really like pies. So I tried one already, a recipe from the internet again. This is a recipe from a retired professional chef from the north of England, a guy called John Kirkwood, and this is my second attempt. First attempt turned out really delicious, but I made a lot of mistakes. The pastry was actually very tasty, the filling was fantastically tasty, but putting it together and cooking it wasn't the best. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try his steak and peppercorn sauce pie. I'm going to make some of these and I'm going to see what it tastes like. Hopefully I can continue to improve the taste and actually get a pie that holds together. Let's see! So let's get a look at the ingredients. First one for the pastry. Here we have the flour and some salt, butter, lard, and we have some water. And that's basically all it is for the pastry. We heat up the water and mix the butter and lard and mix it into the flour, and the salt is already in there. Over here we have the filling. Filling is 500 grams of beef. Oh, stop moving, camera. 500 grams of beef, 2 bay leaves, a cup of onions. Normally the recipe says 1 medium onion, but I have no idea what that is. So 1 medium onion, I sort of guess is 1 cup of diced onion, so you can do it, and some beef stock there. And then over here for the peppercorn sauce, I have in the pestle and mortar just crushed up some black peppercorns. I've got 2 cloves of garlic there chopped up, some butter. And this, another one that is supposed to be a large banana shallot. I couldn't find banana shallots here in Germany, so I just used normal shallots. I used 3 small ones, and that's a half a cup measurement. And then we've got some mustard, some red wine, and some more beef stock. So let's all set up and actually start cooking. So I forgot to mention that in actual fact we need some oil as well. So here I've got 1.5 tablespoons of oil in the pan to fry the beef, and another 1.5 tablespoons of oil in the pot to fry the onions. That's what we're going to start off with. Here is my onion, here is my beef. Put this back on, switch that on, get some temperature into it. I had the thing switched on a bit too hot, that should be alright. Okay. So let me get a thing out to actually move things around as I'm cooking. Camera is actually in the way. Aha, I got it without knocking it. Right, let's start off with put the onion in first. That's 1 cup of onion gone in. We'll get it all on. We'll have to switch on the fan, sorry about the lot of noise. But we'll get that there. Let's pull this down a little bit, it's a bit too hot still. So I just have to brown off the onions a little bit. But actually just soften them up really. While they're softening up, let's cook the beef in here. I'm using a goulash cut of beef here. And the reason I'm using that is I'm not sure what stewing beef is here in Germany, but let's just separate all these out. And we'll just cook these off until the meat browns a little bit. And the onion cooks a little bit more as well. That's a big bit, we'll have to chop that down. Okay. I'm not going to film all of this, it's just very boring, so we'll just cook it like this and we'll come back when it's a bit more ready. Okay, the onions have softened up nicely. I've probably browned them a little bit too much, but they are actually nice and soft. So the next thing I have to do is add in the beef, which is nicely cooked, really nicely browned off, so let's whack these in here. Oh, don't throw it away, Michael. Okay, let's mix this in. Oh, I'm terrible. It's only me eating it, so it's alright. Right, that's it in there. Next I have to add in, if I remember correctly, the bay leaf and the stock. Let's just double check the instructions. Okay, add in 2 bay leaves and a little bit of salt in the stock. Okay. So this is a whole beef stock. It's something I got here in Germany. So we'll add that in, chuck in 2 bay leaves, and we'll mix that around. Then I have to bring it to a very low simmer. Let's get them down into it there. Turn up the heat a little bit to get the simmer. Once we get a simmer, we'll put the cover on and then we will cook it for 1 hour. Okay, the pan is covered. It's just about coming up to a low simmer. I am going to try and focus back in on the bigger pan because I've just given that a wipe out to save on washing up. And now I'm going to try and make the peppercorn sauce, which also has given a chance to cool down. So we'll move a little bit closer and then we'll switch back on the heat. Switch on, give the heat about a medium, down a little bit because this thing heats quite quickly. Then we melt the butter in there. Put this in. So when the butter starts melting, then it folds up a little bit, we should add the shallots. And go from there. Let's see if this actually melts. It's starting to. Okay, now the butter is melted. It's starting to foam up a little bit. Maybe it needs to be a little bit hotter, but I'm going to do it at a cool heat because I always tend to burn stuff. So let's do it a little bit cooler. That's the half a cup of shallots gone in there. I need to add in the garlic, which is 2 cloves of garlic, all nicely finely diced. And then also the black pepper, I think. I hope I'm getting this right. So, give this a good mix. And then I think we have to turn this down to a low and cook it for about 10 minutes, stirring it often. Let me just double check the instructions. It's probably correct. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to look at this for about 10 minutes and we'll come back when we're just about ready, I hope. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I now have to add the wine, which is quite a small amount of wine. We'll add it in. I'm supposed to reduce this by half, so I have to bring the heat back up. And that's another thing is, how do you know when it's half reduced? I'll have to try and guess. It'll take a few minutes, I suppose. Okay, I'm going to keep stirring this constantly and let it try and reduce down a bit. And I'll come back when it's ready, I hope. So I'm guessing this is reduced by about half because there's not a lot of liquid in there. Let's reduce the temperature again for a second. And I need to put in a teaspoon of mustard and mix it in. So this I'm using Dijon mustard, not overly heat. Just mix that in there. Okay, that's the mustard in, let's mix it in. Let's reduce that temperature a bit more, it's a bit warm. Interesting. And after the mustard goes in, I have to mix it in, add in the beef stock. So here we go. That's well mixed in. Let's add in the beef stock. That's 200 grams of beef stock, which is a kind of strange measurement for liquid, but okay. Let's do it like that. It's the same for the wine. It was only a measurement in weight, so I hope it's right. So bring the temperature back up, I guess. Not too hot. Let's see what it says. Okay, so we have to bring it back to a boil and then reduce by half again. So this reducing by half is a good guesstimate. We'll try anyway. Okay, looking at this, I'd say that's at least by half. So I've just turned it down. It's looking quite a bit thicker than it was when I started, but it's really hard to tell. I suppose that comes with experience, but I'm hoping that's by half because as it was cooking you can see it's actually thickened quite an awful lot. So let's get the cream ready and add the cream in and then cook it for an extra minute before taking it out and decanting it into something that will allow it to do. I'm supposed to put in 125 mils of cream. So I've got this is a half a cup, so I'm used to that. Lots, you get that out. So, we've got 120 mils of cream going in with an extra splash. So we mix this in, bring it back to a simmer, I guess. It's very creamy looking. Okay, let's try it, and I'm going to go put this down in the sink. Over here. Cream is probably not heavy cream because it's just normal cream here. We cook this for a minute, so let's bring it up to a bit of temperature. Right, I'll come back when I think it is ready to go in a container. Okay, I think there was far too much cream in that because it's been cooking for over a minute. It's not really thickening up that much. It's thickening up a little bit. Maybe I'm going to have to recheck the ingredients later. I'm going to cook this for a little bit longer to see if it thickens a bit more, but otherwise I'm going to take it out and just see if it actually will solidify a little bit. Actually, I wonder what it tastes like. Let me get a spoon. Let's see what it's like. Wow. Actually, that's really quite nice. It's almost, with the pepper in it, the pepper is very strong. I don't know how it is, but it's almost got a mushroom type flavor. Really, really strange. But really nice. Okay, I'm going to take this off the heat, put it into a container and let it cool down. It's actually going in the fridge overnight because I'm not cooking the pies until tomorrow. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, now I'm going to start on the pastry. I've just put 125 mils of water in the pan. And the beef is still bubbling away. It's been on just a bit over half an hour already. And this looks like it's going to start heating up, so I need to add in the butter. And it's getting soft, this butter. A spoon. And I need to add the lard, which hopefully hasn't started to melt. Actually, I need to break it up a little bit. That's the butter and the lard. So let's bring this up to a slow simmer and melt it in before we start doing the pastry. Okay, I'll come back when that's melted. Okay, this is just at a nice little simmer. All the fat has melted. What I'm going to do now is this will have to be added into the flour. I'm going to just move the position of the camera and do that. Let's just switch it off for a moment and move you around. So I've got a well in the beef. Here comes the water with the two fats all melted in. Now whack it all in the middle, which makes it rather easy to do. Get all of it in there and start stirring like literally with the spoon handle. Okay, let's get it in. And we combine it all together. Start to come together nicely. Hopefully this is started to cool by now. Luckily I cleaned the table so I can do that. Let's put the flour on the sides. I want to handle it yet just in case it's still a bit hot, but I don't have these super hot hands that can handle huge amounts of heat. And as you can see, this is coming together quite nicely. Now I've just taken it out of that, form it into a dough, I believe, if I remember correctly. So I can't remember what I actually, let's have a look at the instructions. Okay, keep it out at a non-floured surface, okay, this is non-floured. And then we have to try and put it together into a dough. It's still warm, but it's not too hot. I have no idea normally what I'm doing as far as kneading dough is concerned, but I just have to work it together a little bit. I did this before the last time, and actually came out really nice and tasty. But that dough actually had some garam masala in it, which actually made it very tasty. This is looking not so bad, I think. It's still quite warm. You can actually feel the oil that's in there. That's why it's not sticking to the table. Okay, right. Then I just have to divide this up into 3, and once I get it into a little smooth, divide it into 3, and then actually put it in cling film, leave it in the fridge overnight. Okay, I'm going to do that now, off the camera, and then we'll have a look at the filling when it's ready, hopefully. Just a quick addendum. Dividing it into 3, I have no idea about size, so all I did was I actually weighed it. Weighed it and then divided that by 3 and made sure that all of them are the same size. Very easy. I'm going to get the cling film out now and actually wrap it up and put it in the fridge. Okay, this has been cooking for a bit over an hour, so it should be just about ready. Let's do a quick test on the meat. Yeah, it's falling apart nicely. And then we need to take out the bay leaves because we don't want that in there. One out. Where's the other one? Here it is here. Take off the juices, yay. Okay. Then I need to thicken this up a little bit. We can switch off the heat probably. I'm probably supposed to switch the heat off afterwards, but let's mix this. This is just corn flour and water. And we just need to thicken the whole thing up a little bit. Not so easy to manage with pouring and starting to thicken up nicely. Let's do a good mix first. A little bit thicker than that, and that'll be fine. Just pour the last of this in. Okay, that looks absolutely lovely. In fact, luckily I'm not eating it because it's late at night, but I actually want to eat it. But okay, we'll leave it till tomorrow. We'll take it and put it into something else and let it cool down, and we'll get it all ready for tomorrow. Okay, then we'll be back tomorrow to try and make the pies. Well, it's not the next day, it's actually 2 days later. Went out for dinner last night with a few friends, so couldn't do any baking. So tonight we're going to try and finish off the pies by rolling out the pastry, filling up the pie tins and cooking some. I think this time I'm going to try and only make 2 of them and freeze 2 so that I don't actually overeat, and if they're really nice I'll probably make this again. Okay, let's get set up and we'll see if everything works correctly this time. So here we are with the ingredients. This is the filling, which should be all still nice and thickish. Yeah, looks nice, actually smells nice too. Pastry, which I combined into 1/3 and 2/3. Pie dishes, and this should be this peppercorn sauce for putting in. Okay, now the first thing to do, I think, is actually to get the pie a little bit more subtle. Actually, this has been out of the fridge for probably over half an hour, it's not too bad. And yeah, so I should be able to work this. I'm going to unwrap it, work it a little bit, and then I'm going to come back when I'm ready to start rolling it out. Okay, we're going to try and make the bases first. I'm going to see if I can get a sprinkle of flour down here before I start trying to roll it out. In the corner, I think you can just about see them. I was looking for something that I'm going to be able to cut out the right shapes. And I found 2 old pots that I can no longer use on the induction hob, which are made of aluminium. And they're just about the right size. So I took the handles off, and they should be, hopefully, perfect. A little bit larger, but only a tiny bit. Oh, there's big noise. Okay, let's see how it goes. So we have to mush this out. Oh, might as well squish it out a little bit. It needs to be X wide and X everything, so let's try this out. Get some flour onto it. I have no idea what I'm doing, of course, as you can see. I'm getting that side done quite well. Again, this is all new for me. I've done it once before with my first trial run. But we'll go. I'm going to try and flatten this out. I'll continue putting a little bit of things on. And we'll go from there. I don't think it's actually that interesting to watch. So I'll let the camera run for a little while, but I'll probably edit all this out. That should be the right width. So let's see if I can. This is supposed to be for 4 bases. I don't think this table is large enough. Don't knock everything off the table, Michael. A little bit more flour maybe. Admittedly, it might be an idea to cut some of the bases out. Oops. Now this is unusual. This is almost the right size, I guess. Let's put that one down there. Fairly thin. Let's see if we can cut it out and make some pieces. So this is about 7 inches or slightly larger than 7 inches, this pot. There's one. I'll put another one here. If this works, it's a good idea. Never throw away your old pots. And I think, like the first time, I'm going to have loads of pastry left over. So I probably rolled it a bit thin. Okay. Let's see how that looks like. Oh, that came out okay, that came out okay. A lot of pastry left. Doesn't look too bad. Let's put a little bit of flour on it just and then stack them up out of the way and start making the tops. Maybe I don't even need that full butter piece. Okay. So let's just have a quick measure on the actual existing pies, see what that actually looks like inside. Oh, it's going over the edges alright, so I'll probably do another little roll later just to make sure. But there's the 4 bases. I'm going to try and use this one again and roll this one out, and maybe I can freeze the other bit of dough and use it for something else. Put a little bit down. And then we roll this one out again. This is already a bit like Morla, this stuff. Or plasticine as they call it, isn't it? Don't know if I'll get 4 lids out of this one, but we'll see. It's a bit thick anyway. I do like them a bit thinner crusted also. He says, trying to make excuses for not doing it right. Put that over there out of the way. When you roll it out, it actually comes back a lot. That's starting to look a little bit thin, I think. Is that too thin? No, I don't think so. Let's see how far we can get with this. Let's go get there. Well, let's try that and see if we can get the smaller cutouts to work. We'll pop that on there. This tin I think is around 14 and a half centimeters or something like that. So, oops. 1. 2. Actually, I might get this to stretch to 4 if I rework it again. This one top anyway. 1, 2. Put this one back together. Let's roll this one out again. See if this time I can get it to stay in a better shape and get 2 out of it. Here's some more flour. Let's put that in there. It's a bit thin there, so I hope that works. I don't think the top is as important because it's stuff's not on it. Is that going to be wide enough? Yeah. I'll get the other two out of there then. Let's do that. So I guess I'm rolling this pastry out way too thin. Which could be one of the problems why the other one's leaked as well, because I had loads of pastry left over there as well. But okay, not to worry. It's all an adventure in trying. Right. There's one. And another one. Okay. Right, I'm going to clean up here a little bit and then we're going to start filling the pies and getting it ready. Okay, so for this part I need to grease up these tins. I have some lard here, or some schmaltz, or whatever it's called in German. And I'm going to grease them up and then I'm going to try and see if we can actually make these things up. I'm also going to be lazy and sit down while I'm doing it. So let's sit down first. Get this off here. I'm not going to show all of these in the final video, we'll just use some of it. Let's get a little bit of this here. A little bit of paper maybe. Rub this thing into it, I suppose. Nice and good and larded up. All greased up. A grease monkey. These are non-stick. I wonder what happened if I didn't use grease, but I'm not going to take that chance this time. I might do it someday in the future. Okay, all greased up. Then I need to get a piece of tissue or something, wipe my hands. The good thing about having a small kitchen is everything is within reach. Ah! Okay, now let's see, these are the tops. Let's take them off of there, there's another top. We'll start with a base. I wonder, should I roll these out again, or is it still bigger than the thing? It actually isn't that much bigger, so it looks like it's shrunk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this just a little bit to see if I can keep the shape. Keep it kind of circulish, just enough so I can actually cover the thing. Let's try that. Alright, that's not good, Michael. Move it across a little bit. That's a bit better there. So a lot of air gets trapped in them. Push that down there, push that there. Get the air out. How do you get all the air out? That's good. You pull it back from the sides as you're pushing the air out. Ah, that seems to work. Pull it back a little bit, let the air out. Okay. Right. Now these need to go over the edges, and it's not really. Let's see if I can get it over. Okay. Well, at first attempt is not too bad. There's a little bit of air in there. Get it out. Okay. I think I will just go ahead and make one pie, and then I'm going to ignore the camera for a while. So here I'm supposed to get a fork and get some well spaced doodads in there like that. That should be okay. Let's get some filling. And hopefully we have enough to go for the 4 pies. It should be, because these pie tins are the same as the pie tins that we're using in the recipe. This is not as thick as his one was. Okay, have to learn next time maybe. I don't think I'm going to have enough in here for 4 pies. That looks about 3/4 full. Is this going to be wider than the top of that? No, I'm going to have to rest that one out as well. This is... That's really nice. Thing was not to put too much in. That should be plenty, I guess. Okay, let's roll this one out a bit. Hopefully it will not go the wrong shape. Right, that's rolly enough. Don't fall down, please. Pop it over the top. No, I forgot something. I'm supposed to make some egg wash, aren't I? Damn, hold that. Uh-oh. 1 second, I have to get some egg wash. I'll be a few minutes, I'll switch off. Okay, make more washing up. So here, this is 1 egg. I think you can see it. Yeah, we can. So this is 1 egg with a dash of milk, or splash of milk, or something. I have no idea how to measure those, but I'm hoping that this is not too much or not too little. I don't have a whisk, so I'll just use a fork. And you're supposed to get, that is looking, oh, this will be alright. It'll be very thick actually. I'm going to put a little bit more milk into that. It's just not enough. Judging by what the other YouTube colour was, and the eggs here are a bit more yellow. And let's see how it goes then. That's a bit better looking. Okay, I probably won't put all this whisking onto this. Hopefully that's liquid enough. It's kind of runny. So let's see if we can try it. Okay. Now, this one has gone back from the edge a bit. Okay, let's just be a little bit careful. Take that around the edges. Try not to get it on the edge because it will stick. But knowing me, that's what's going to happen anyway. This pie is the control pie, so it doesn't really matter. And it needs to be around here. Okay, right, let's try this again. Pop this on. Right, again it's shrunk. That's really weird, it has actually shrunk again. Okay, let's pull it together. Ah, no, that's not working. Let's see if we can crimp it together a bit. I'm doing this the wrong way because normally it's supposed to be fingers and hands against, I think. But let's try it this way first. Again, never done this. Last time I tried to use a fork to seal it. So let's try put this up. No, that's not the right method. I'm going to try and use a fork again and go around the edges just to squeeze it together, and then I'm going to lift it up just to see if that makes it a bit easier. Just try and get it to stick together a bit. Okay, that looks a bit easier. Let's lift it up a bit from the edge, get it up. I'm not going to bother tidying these up too much because, to be honest, I like the crust. And that looks kind of nicely sealed. Where's my knife gone? Here it is. So I'm only supposed to put 1 slit in here because it's quite liquidy. That's it there. And then we need to brush this with, don't Don't let them fall off. Put this all over with egg wash, not getting any on the sides, hopefully. Right, that one looks quite good. Let's just make sure we got a hole there. Right. 1 down, 3 to go. Okay, I'm going to switch off the camera so I don't have to worry about talking so much. And then I'm going to try and make the other 3. And 2 of them I'm going to stick in the freezer. And 2 I'm going to try and cook. So we'll come back when I'm ready with these 3 done. Okay, well I kind of made up the pies. This one's I rolled out a little bit better. And I crimped them using the fork because I can't get the hang of that other one. And I need to trim them off. So I guess I should trim them off a little bit like this. Normally should use the back of a knife, not the sharp edge. From what I've seen on this online. And I'm a very good pupil, listening to what people tell me what to do. My teachers must be turning in their graves. Right, that's that one. Now, what I might do is, I know I said I was going to freeze 2. What I'm going to do before I freeze 2, I'm going to cook 2 and see what they turn out like. And if they're really nice, I might cook the other 2 as well. And as I mentioned, I'm going to cook them in the air fryer. This pastry I need to chuck away probably. There's loads of other pastry left. So this is much thinner pastry. I don't know what's going to be like, whether it'll actually hold the things. Maybe I need to learn how to actually get the right depth of pastry, but everything's a learning experience. So this lot I can chuck into my bin, which is on another YouTube video where I fitted it on the door. Open the door, chuck it in the bin, easy peasy. Right, I'm going to set up and cook. Choose 2 pies, stick them in the oven. Damn, I can't stick them straight in the oven because I've got to preheat the oven, and even though it's an air oven, it's not super hot, so I will actually preheat before I put them in. One question is, what do you do with leftover egg wash? Interesting question. Answers in the comments if anybody wants to bother. Okay, I've preheated the oven. I put it 175 even though it's one's supposed to be 160. The reason being that this one doesn't seem to get up to full temperature. And let's pop it in. I'm going to put 2 pies in, if I can fit 2. And let's see how they go. This is the original control pie. Let's see how that goes. So the 2 pies just about fit in. We'll go in there. It's supposed to take 45 minutes. I'll come back and check once or twice maybe and have a look in through, because I can actually switch a light on this one to see what it's like. And we will check it out a little bit later. I'll leave it on 175 and we'll see, and hopefully it will bake correctly. We'll come back later. About 20 minutes to go, looking good, everything bubbling up nicely. They haven't started spilling out too badly. Hopefully looking good. Ooh, light went off. Switch light back on. Let me zoom in a little bit and get a bit closer. Looking tasty. I'm not sure how much you can see on the camera, but here it is looking really good. There's about 4 minutes to go. The actual pie is just shrinking away from the edge. There's a small little bit of bubbling out on that one at the back, but overall looking good. A lot better than last time I done it. Let's wait for the last 4 minutes before taking them out. Okay, the big reveal. Let's get something I can actually grab the pies out with. I have lost my cloth. Oh dear, where's it gone? Oh, I'll use this one. Hopefully I won't burn myself. Okay, let's see the big reveal. Let's switch on the light. Come on, switch back on, switch on the light. Open we go. Pull them out. Okay, it leaked out the top a little bit of the pies, you can see there, but they do look really nice. Okay, I'm going to transfer them onto a wire rack and leave them cool for 10 minutes. And I'm actually going to cook the second 2 so that they can also be ready for me to eat if I need to. Okay, let's take that one out of there and put on the other 2 for cooking. Over here we can see both pies on the cooling rack. Zoom in a little bit. They look really delish. I don't know why they zipped out the front up the top, but okay, let's see how it goes. Okay, 10 minutes are up. Let's take this pie. It's not too hot. And we'll see if we can tip it out. Oh, comes out really, really easy. Looks really nice. Let's open it up and see what we've got. Really nice crispy pastry. Looks really quite nice inside. A little bit shy on some of the filling, which is what I expected. But next I gotta taste it, and I'm not putting my face in front of the camera to do that, but let's chuck this one off, and I'm going to do it and make funny sounds off camera. Nom 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 nom. Actually, that's good. That's really good. So, I would deem that a success. It's quite peppery, quite nice, quite creamy. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to go and eat the rest of it. Probably the second one, but I'll leave the other two that are in the oven and I won't eat them. Okay, second batch is done. Let's switch on the light, if I can figure it. Oh, well, maybe it comes on like this. And we'll take it out. Pop it down there. Actually, let's zoom in on these. Oh, they're looking good. They're looking very good. I just reduced the temperature a little bit. Still cooked for 45 minutes. And really nice. And I just have to try and not eat them, because these should be for tomorrow. Oh well. Let's see.